The Celistine treatment, commentary on the context. The curvature of the lip of the pit seemed huge. There they were, standing along the edge, fearful of what was to happen to them with the guards' spears and lances at hand, poking and prodding the timid up to the very edge. Roger calmly watched from the south platform, eyeing the nearest woman in line of the to-be-sacrificed captives. It was she who had most blatantly refused his advances and offers of escape from the jumping death. Oh, how well he would have done with her had she only seen the light. In those dusking days of Atlantis, it was the practice of those in charge to cause the less fortunate to jump off of ledges to their certain deaths at the rocks below as a way of assuring the extended life of leaders in the order. How this worked out wasn't really known, but the culture had been developing for some time. Roger only partially believed in the practice. He just went along with the rest of the inner circle, there being more of a mindset having a life of its own than a group of people actually building and developing a concept for survival in the afterlife. He looked to all of the real advances they had made, remote viewing, long-distance thought communication, and the advanced technology in the capture and storage of the sun's energy in the crystals for later use in the dark. What was her name? It sounded like the name of that late spring blooming flower. Lycyndia or something like that. A proud woman. Standing tall and erect at the rim edge. No slouching back like the rest of the slackers. Roger eyed her again, wondering if it would make sense to give her one last chance to change her mind and acquiesce to his demands. He cast his distance view from his eyes over to the direction on the other side of her and looked back at them both. Odd it seemed, her right profile had more grandeur of expression. Brown wavy hair with those odd-shaped pieces of metal or with things doing something to keep the hair tied together without it looking like a net was in place. Was it more shocking to see her or himself remotely? There, he saw himself on the other side. An old man without any hair and that neck-length smock and sandals. He didn't look like much, in fact, he looked a little ugly. Bulging nose and bumpy skin all over his skull. He wondered, what did the others think of him? Were they just afraid of the power that he wielded, or was there really a sense of respect for the positions that Roger and the others had ascended to through a combination of inheritance and display of technical expertise? It was getting late in the afternoon in time to get on with the ceremony. A few of the council members were fidgeting on the review platform and signaled their intent to get this ugly mess over with. They had issues to discuss about the power crystals, some problem with the release regulators going into uncontrollable heterodyne motion. Roger sighed and wondered, is this all there is to the process? He recalled his distance view to the reset position, made one more scan over the faces of the captives and released the command. A loud bang and immediately all those lined up at the pit edge advanced in synchronous step over the edge, hung in the air suspended for an astonished second and then dropped. Seconds later the rush came up and the attending circle elite nearly wilted in the flow of the energy. How in the hell did this machine thing work? Was it even right? Could they ever even bring an end to its use? This scene actually did happen about 10 years after the fall of Atlantis. The location was in the area north of where the old city of Sumer lived and died. Several surviving Atlantean families collected together as a clan of sorts for common protection with an idea for their conception of the future and how they might work with the next return of the Nephilim. One family of the clan had physical access to one of the emotion harvesting machines and it was brought up from underground and positioned just inside a cave at the bottom of a steeply walled pit, again an area under their control. Those crazies had the idea that if they made use of the harvested emotion of captured slaves, then they just might have a way of furthering out their life and maybe provide for themselves in the afterlife. An insane idea at best, but desperate people tend to do desperate things.